Hello and welcome back to the 24 Hours of Sebring. Different voice in the booth. Anthony McCrury had to leave to attend to some team business, so I've taken over the broadcast for the second half of segment number 3. We're back on the UticaHomeTrackSeries channel, and as far as we know, just so to give you an update, segment 7 will still be on the Silver Machine 9000 channel. When we last left you, Kyle Collins was in the race lead. He went down pit road this past lap, and now P.J. Williams is in the race lead. In second place would be Henry Nova, car number 11. And running out the top 3 is Jacob Anthony in car number 19. But if we head back to the race lead, P.J. Williams in the 12. He started on the pole for this segment after Dylan Thoreau won segment number 2. He just got passed by the lapped car of, I believe that's Michael Norman. Yep, that's Michael Norman. So we're wondering how long will it be until car number 12 comes down pit road. Will it be this lap? No, it will not. As the 7 and the 15 of Avis Raypacks are running on fresh tires. So let us continue along through the field, see if anyone else is going to be up. There goes Dylan Young. He's going to be making his pit stop. This is going to give Alex Pedro the position. Now we have to talk about Alex Pedro in the 53 machine. He's having a great effort today. He is currently in the 4th place position, which I think is the best the 53 car has done all event. So if he can keep it together, he should be fine. You have to watch out for a couple drivers like 5th place Joseph Ernesto, as this car is one of many cars on track that has, well, I wouldn't say many, but has already wrecked themselves once. They need to make sure that they don't wreck themselves again. Though, to be fair, the 35 car was a mechanical issue, however, it was a terminal one. Ernesto with a great run in car number 35. He'll be transferring it over to Robert Piet for the next segment. There's Kyle Sosnowski in 6th place, car number 9. Great showing for him. They're going to be transferring it over to William Duncan in segment number 4. Which, just to update you, the next segment will be on Booyaka Dragon. That will be the channel that will be airing that. James Silverfox will be the commentator for it. So, should be a fun commentary. Jeffrey Finguy, car number 18. Trying to pick up where Dan Bandon left off in segment number 1. However, he's dropped back a little bit. He's still in contention. He still has a good chance of winning this race if he can just keep it on track. Darian Taylor in car number 3. He's followed by Kyle Thomas, who's actually a lap off the pace. The 77 car, we need to mention, has been having a pretty awful event. They got the pole in segment 1, lost it immediately, was near the back for segment 2, still was near the back after the segment, and they're in 21st right now, so things have got to change in the 77 pit. They won't have any chance of working their way back up to the front. Elizabeth Fields, car number 21, this is the next car on track. She's having a great effort in the 21 machine. Did any drivers go down pit road this lap? And no, none of them did. As we have a pass for position, Jeffrey Finguy trying to battle with Kyle Sosnowski in the 9. Can he take it coming into this turn? If so, Finguy will move up a spot. He'll be in the 6th place position. Now he sets his sights on Joseph Ernesto, car number 35. Just so we mentioned, Joseph Ernesto is actually running a series called the TomTom International Touring Cup. They're actually going to be going to this track, I believe, sometime during the schedule. And the way that series is going to work as, well, Jeffrey Finguy, a beautiful pass to the inside. Finguy knows how to run these road courses, and he might have something today for these drivers, as I believe he's the driver on the 18 team that has the most experience in racing, as he's been in the victory lane in the UticaHomeTrackSeries several times, and is just coming off a NASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series championship. But to continue with Joseph Ernesto, the TomTom International Touring Cup Series is a series where it's heavily based off the credit system as well. Jeffrey Finguy keeps going. See, Jeffrey Finguy keeps trying to steal away Joseph Ernesto's plug, and I don't think Ernesto would approve. But Joseph Ernesto, car number 35, going to be running a cool series on on his channel, which just finished up coverage on the second segment of this event. So you should go check that out, see if it's something that may interest you. I know it certainly interests me. We go back. Kyle Collins, who was leading when we went to break, drops back to 10th due to a pit stop. He's going to have to really try and work his way back up. There is the 77 of Kyle Thomas getting passed even more so, and that's just to show you how off he is on pit strategy. The drivers who are on the lead lap are actually pitting sooner than him, so... Well, there's Alex Tanker in the 88 machine. He has one win to his name. It came in the UticaHomeTrackSeries at the Talladega Super Speedway, back when they used to race that on the schedule. But he's currently getting passed by Jordan Demis in car number 34. He's splitting that ride with Alan Cavanaro and James Shelley. Cavanaro struggled in his segment. He went out. He was the first casualty of the race, going out due to a mechanical issue. And James Shelley was able to get to a good run. So Demis trying his best to keep up the good streak. Eric Cardona, car number 2. I remember in the previous segment, Anthony McCrury was not well formed in on his notes. So some may refer to him as Eddie. I think they've been jokingly referring to him as Eddie Cardona over the radio. But Eric Cardona, in 3rd place at the moment. The 2 car has not been the strongest on the racetrack, but he's hoping to change that as these segments go along. He still has a lot of time to work his way to the front. He could just be in conservation mode. Ralph Mason, car number 67. The teammate of Anthony McCrury. McCrury's going to be... He's not taking over just yet. It'll be Alex Hawkins for the next segment. McCrury will be back for segment number 5. But Ralph Mason, 14th overall. Dylan Young is in 15th. He went down pit road, lost a couple spots. Dylan Poteet following close behind in the 13 machine. They may have a battle going on here as Dylan Young looks a little high. Zachary Robinson, car number 41. This car barely got any track time in segment number 2 as Nathan Orman was stalled on the pit lane for most of it. They had an electrical issue with this car, but they were able to get it fired back up. This is the same car they were racing in that previous segment, so they did not go out of the race due to the electrical issue. Charles Sanford in car number 26, trying to pick up the pace where his previous drivers left off. Whoa, Avis Rapax went off track a little bit. This is going to allow Michael Norman to catch up. Now, Norman is actually the last car on the lead lap. I don't think they're going to get lapped anytime soon by car number 12, since both of them are tracking a little faster than him. But you don't want to be that last car on the lead lap. You want to make sure you have some cushion between you and the leader, especially if you're near the back. Avis Rapax is starting to lose grip with Michael Norman, so it could be a matter of time until Michael Norman strikes. That goes through the entire field. Oh, it looks like we got a car slow. Car number 53, Alex Pedro, who has such a good run going. Something's wrong, and they may have a tire down or something. I don't think, they're not reporting anything terminal. I'm pretty sure it could be a tire. So, Alex Pedro is going to lose a lot of that ground he was gaining. It looks like they're going to have to try again in another segment. But as I was saying, with Kyle Thomas in 21st, that means only 21 cars are on the racetrack. 4 drivers have pulled out of this race so far. And in the overall event, we've lost the 81 and the 28 for sure. I believe there's a couple others that are coming back in other segments, but as these drivers try to negotiate navigate the slow 53 machine, we take a look at this gap between the leaders. PJ Williams has such a huge lead over Henry Nova. And much faster. Is that a much faster lap time? Yeah, faster lap time as well. So it looks like the car number 12 may be a force to be reckoned with again. As look at how fast Jeffrey Finguy's been moving. He's already moved his way up to 3rd place. Is there a problem with Jacob Anthony? No, I thought there was something wrong with Jacob Anthony for a second, but seems to be fine. But Finguy is on a mission. He is so much faster than the leaders. Finn Guy might be the driver to beat in this segment if he can just catch up to PJ Williams before the pit cycle. However, Henry Nova not going to make it easy. Finn Guy needs to check up a little bit. Finn Guy still trying to make that move on the inside. He's running for the Dan Bandon team, but Finn Guy has offered a lot of his supplies to help the team out. So they have good equipment, and they've got a bunch of good drivers on that 18 machine. I don't think Pemberton's the driver they're sharing with. I forget who their secondary driver is. We take a look a little further back in the pack. Kyle Collins has been gaining positions as Joseph Ernesto's been losing them. Ernesto's been falling on hard times in this segment for this section of pit stop since he is off cycle from these guys. Finn Guy only gets the lead if everyone else pits. So Ernesto, I mean, it's not a big deal at the moment since it's still so early on in the event, given that this is 24 hours. But he kind of wishes that he was near the front for as much of it as possible. So Demis going to move up a spot. Kyle Collins making his flight back to the front. See if he can have anything for Jeffrey Finn Guy, who's been running time similar to him. We're back. Sorry, we had a bit of a technical issue there, caused a little bit of cut in the stream. As we mentioned, Joseph Ernesto needed to come down pit road. Here he comes. So Ernesto makes the long drive down the front stretch. I think he'll be the only taker for pit lane this lap. We take a look at a time. We're about an hour and 20 minutes into the event. We still have a lot of time to go. I don't even think we're at the halfway point of it yet. So Alex Pedro back on track. They fixed the problem. It was a cut tire. Fortunately, he was able to baby it to pit road so that that tire didn't shred on them. Avis Rapax in 19th. Michael Norman in 20th, as we mentioned. And it looks like PJ Williams. Is PJ Williams no longer in the race lead, or did we just miss him on track? Yeah, I do not see PJ Williams. That means Jeffrey Finn Guy could be your leader. Let's see, where's yep, there he is. So PJ Williams has gone down the pit lane, made his stop. This gives Jeffrey Finn Guy the race lead. Darian Taylor will be in second place. So a different place for car number 3 today. He's not had much time up near the front of the pack. Kyle Collins will be in third place. Jacob Anthony, Jordan Demis rounding out your top 5. But just look at that gap between the first place car and second place. There's a huge gap between the two. And I believe, actually, Darian Taylor is faster than Dan Bandon. He just needs to hope they can keep these times consistent. Make sure Jeffrey Finn Guy doesn't get too far away. Kyle Collins is going to come down the pit lane, which is actually surprising to me. I'm surprised with a couple of these guys. They've all seemed to have been running pretty fast lap times. So it looks like they're just being safe, coming down pit road to make sure they have the tires they need. Will we have any other takers on pit road? I don't think so. Unless, well, no, Charles Hansford's been pretty fast. I don't think he'll be coming down the pit lane. Kyle Thomas has gone down pit road. Did Zachary Robinson get past, or did something happen to him? He could have just gone, yep, he went down pit road. I wasn't sure because Robinson had such a big gap over these drivers, and now he's running near the tail end of the field with them. We'll have to see if he's faster than these guys. That will tell the tale of if he went down pit road or not, or if he just got off the racetrack for a little bit. So looking through the pack, Jordan Demis running in the top 3 in that 34 car. A huge improvement for the 34 team as Kevin Arrow Shelley Motorsports struggled so much in the beginning stages. Dead last in segment 1. Brought it back to a decent finish in segment 2. Now running near the front in segment 3. So 34 car may have something for these drivers as the event continues. We got to talk about this 21 machine too. This 21 machine has been a big surprise on track, as 3 very low experienced drivers, Logan York, John Smith, and Alyssa Fields. None of them have a plethora of racing prowess. John Smith and Alyssa Fields I've never even seen in an event before, but they've been holding their own and been having some great runs today. I would love to see them in other series, as this shows they might be a good factor in them. Alex Tanker is also giving a good battle in the 88 machine. He's not really noted for his road racing, but he's really keeping up the terms with them. I know he's been on tracks like Kyalami and other stuff from the UticaHomeTrackSeries, but he's mostly been getting average finishes at them. He hasn't really excelled. But today, 5th place overall is pretty good for the 88 machine, which will transfer back over to Biggie Spencer in the next segment. Eric Cardona using as much of that racetrack as he can, trying to figure out a way past Alex Tanker. Have to see if he can get it, as we got a bit of a stack up of cars here. Up here comes Alex Tanker going underneath Alyssa Fields. Will he be able to take it? My bets are yes, as Fields tries to battle it. Tanker trying to get that distance, and he will. So Alex Tanker moves up a spot into 4th place. See if we can look through the rest of the field. PJ Williams trying to catch his way back up, but almost got a little off track going through that. I mean, that turn is always very difficult. We see Henry Nova go through it, as it doesn't give you any time to even your car out on a straightaway. It immediately goes into another turn. But these drivers have been handling it pretty well. I haven't seen many accidents happen on that part of the racetrack, just going into the turn. Sanford, Onesto, Anthony, Sosnowski continuing on the track, followed by Pedro. Robinson's actually going to blast past these drivers, so he did go down pit road. Avis Rapax is going to work his way down pit lane as well, as it looks like Jeffrey Finguy will put him back a lap off the pace. The Lithuanian driver not having the best of segments. Sean Galligan did the best in this race car, if I'm not mistaken. I think Pericles did all right, but Rapax has not had the best segment. Well, we've got most of these drivers on track. We've talked about trying to see if we can find us a good battle on the racetrack, as Avis Rapax makes the leave off pit road. Well, Alex Tanker and Eric Cardona have been 2 of the most evenly matched cars on the racetrack these past couple of laps. So I think it would be best to watch them, see if Cardona can make the pass, or if Tanker can pull away, maybe hold him off a little bit more. As we come to that tight hairpin turn, you can always get a good run off this, but you gotta watch out for another car behind you. So Alyssa Fields fortunately will not make any contact with them. Looks like Tanker's actually starting to pull away. Looking at their lap times, Cardona's actually a little faster based on the last lap, but he still has to deal with the aggressive nature of the 88 car. And no one else is really that close on the circuit. Avis Rapax actually took a pretty long pit stop. He's not only a lap down, but he's fallen back to where PJ Williams is. So Rapax lost a lot of ground out there. Let's see. We got to talk about the 19 machine with Jacob Anthony. Eugene to Max gave it a good run in segment number 1, and Derek Pemberton did alright with it in segment 2. Jacob Anthony has had some good runs in other series, like the DuPont Cup Series for Mark Soa. He's looking to make a name for himself as a road racer in this 19 machine. Not doing too bad. He's 14th overall, but he's had some stints near the front. See if we can, well, there's Darian Taylor coming down pit road. So Tanker is going to move up to 3rd place. Cardona in 4th. Someone else went down the pit road. That was Alyssa Fields, who was starting to lose ground these past couple of laps. Now there's Jeffrey Finn Guy in the lead. Look who's in his rearview mirror. Jordan Demis. Demis making the diving pass to the inside. He's so much quicker than Jeffrey Finn Guy. Makes some contact. Oh, so close. And it looks like actually some cars made contact coming out of that turn. And there's some tire marks. But Jordan Demis, car number 34, going to steal the race lead away from Jeffrey Finn Guy. I think this may signal to Finn Guy that it might be time to come down pit road. And the 34 machine up near the front. So, from last to first in 3 segments. Jordan Demis having a great run. I don't know too much about the driver, however. I'm not really familiar with his racing experience. But I do know that the 2 drivers he's sharing it with, Alan Cavanaro and James Shelley, have had their share of success. Alan Cavanaro, racer in the ARCSOA series and a couple other events. And James Shelley was a winner in the NASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series at the Daytona Backstretch Short Track. So, 2 completely different things, the short track at Daytona and Sebring, but any experience helps. There's car number 7 of Michael Norman heading down pit road. Michael Norman is their tertiary driver. Joshua Michaels is the one who put the team together. Contacted Michael Norman and Joshua Collard. Going into it. And wait a second. Jordan Demis has actually pulled down pit road first. I'm not really sure of that strategy, as he was definitely faster than Finn Guy. He could have kept it out at least one more lap. But that means Jeffrey Finn Guy is going to keep his race lead, so looks like that challenge to the front is done. Easy come, easy go for the 34 machine. So we've got a 4-car stack up here. Ralph Mason, Dylan Young, Dylan Poteet, and PJ Williams. Now Williams would be the fastest car of this group, since he is the driver that has the freshest tires. But Poteet and Young are running similar lap times. Ralph Mason's been the slowest of these guys. He's probably going to be coming down pit road soon. However, can anyone get by the 67 machine early? Maybe gain some ground on the drivers coming after them. Watch out! Ugh. Close call for them as PJ Williams trying to find another line around the 13 machine. Actually, it's going to lose him some ground on them. That turn is one of the best passing places, has Dylan Poteet still trying to work his way underneath the 14 machine. We may have another car join this. It's Avis Rapax, who's actually a lapped car, so I don't know. He's not going to be battling for position, but since he has pitted, he will be a little bit faster, and I think he's probably going to stay out longer so he can try and get his lap back. Now remember, at the end of this segment, if you're a lap down, you actually do get your laps back, no matter how many laps down you are. So, some drivers have been a little weary about that, but that's the way the rules are for this event. Which I think a lot, especially Nathan Ormond is grateful for this rule, as if that wasn't the case, Ormond would be so far off the victory, it would be almost useless for them to continue. PJ Williams trying to pass 2 cars. Ralph Mason goes to the pit lane. Looks like PJ Williams is going to end up in the race today. I believe Eric Cardona has pitted as well. Avis Rapax trying to catch up to them as well. Gain as much ground on track as he can. So Poteet's going to have to battle it out with Dylan Young as PJ Williams is already going to start pulling away. So, more cars on pit road. I see Jeffrey Finn Guy, who's the race leader. So we'll have to see who cycles out to that lead. Why it would be PJ Williams. So the 12 car continuing his dominance on track today. We need to keep looking through this pack, see who we can find. Looks like Zachary Robinson's the last car on the lead lap in 17th position. As Jacob Anthony battling with Joseph Ernesto, both of them are running a little faster than normal. Jordan Demis is probably going to catch up to these guys as Charles Sanford sits in 11th place. Now to give you an update on cars that have gone out of the race. The 28 machine with Eric and Rage and the Aurelia brothers was eliminated the last segment. Same with Colin Bartel and Matt Evans and John Blackburn. So both of them are completely out of this event. The 83 car, which was driven this segment by Matt Dool, is currently off track. So is the 10 machine, which would be Noah Hart for this segment. So they're going to continue, however. They both have one backup car left for each driver. And actually, with the 10 machine, it was a close call in segment 1 as they ended up going a couple laps down due to an incident on track. I'm not sure. I forget if they stalled or if they got into something. But Dylan Young, car number 14, heading down pit road, is going to relinquish the spot to the faster Dylan Poteet. So it'll be PJ Williams in first, followed by Dylan Poteet second, Henry Nova third. Fourth is Joseph Ernesto. Fifth is Jacob Anthony. Sixth is Jordan Demis. Seventh, Charles Sanford. Eighth, Kyle Sosnowski. Ninth is Jeffrey Finguy. And in 10th place, it's Darian Taylor. In 11th place, it's Alex Tanker. 12th place, Eric Cardona. 13th is Alex Pedro. 14th is Alyssa Fields. 15th will be Ralph Mason. 16th will be Dylan Young. 17th is Zachary Robinson. 18th is Avis Rapax. 19th is Michael Norman. And in 20th, it'll be Kyle Thomas. And oh, does that mean we had a driver go out? Yes, I don't see Kyle Collins on track. So we will take a look quickly and see what happened to the 63 car. So Kyle Collins on lap 39 was coming into the hairpin. Rams right into the 3 car. That's going to cause some terminal damage on the 63. He would limp it back to pit road, but he would not continue in the event. And with James Qualls going out in segment number 1, car number 63 is completely eliminated from the event. So looks like they will not be back for future segments. So this is a goodbye to the 63 of Kyle Collins, who was racing for a good cause for the Susan G. Coleman Foundation. Fortunately, they're not going to make as much as they were hoping. We bring you back to the racing action out front. PJ Williams still in the race lead. We'll have to see if anyone's going to make the dive through pit road. So Michael Norman is working his way past Dylan Poteet. Henry Nova passed him as well. The 11 and the 12 have been the 2 dominant cars in these past couple of segments. So they are currently listed as the favorites to win the whole thing, but they still have a long while to go. 5 more segments, 3 hours apiece, so if they can survive another 15 hours and still be out front, that'll be a pretty impressive feat. There's a battle between Joseph Ernesto and Jacob Anthony. It looks like Ernesto trying to make the pass on the 19 machine. Anthony has the preferred line, however. Though Ernesto could be fast coming out of this. I don't think so. It looks like it'll be Jacob Anthony as still keeping it too wide going through that turn. That's pretty dangerous considering how thin that turn is. But Ernesto not giving up. However, looks like Anthony will get the drop on him, and the 35 car will slide back into 5th place. Looking for other close battles on track. It looks like Alyssa Fields might give the 53 car run for his money, as Fields has been a little bit quicker than the 53 these past couple of laps. However, turns it wide, and Alyssa Fields is going to lose some ground on that 53 car. There's Avis Rapax. He's actually slightly faster than the 12. He's trying to catch up to him, maybe get by him so he can still be on the lead lap, recuperate from his loss from pitting. Henry Nova has been quick, but not as quick as the leader, so he's been losing some time as Michael Norman in car number 7 tries to pass to the outside. Not going to work. Dylan Poteet we expect to come down pit road shortly, as Car number 13 has been losing ground in these leaders. He doesn't want to get passed by Jacob Anthony in 4th place. I don't see any takers for pit road, but we have to mention Charles Sanford, who's been having a good run near the front. 7th place overall. He may be a driver that might head down pit road soon as well, but currently having a solid top 10 effort in the 26 machine. So we continue looking through the field, see if we have any takers for pit road. It doesn't look like it. Everyone near the back of the pack has been pretty fast. Dylan Young coming off a pit stop. Jeffrey Finn guy as well. Avis Rapax works his way past PJ Williams, so he will keep himself on the lead lap. Jacob Anthony still working his way on Dylan Poteet. See if he can take the spot from him. He's going to get a good run going into the turn, gaining a lot of ground and putting a little bit of a distance on Joseph Onesto. So we take a look, see if there's any other close battles. Cisnowski and Sanford are pretty evenly matched, but I haven't seen Cisnowski been making these moves. I think he knows that both of them are going to have to pit soon, so he's not going to get too risky, and also he just drove it wide, so that won't help him there. Lissa Fields still trying to make that attempt on the 53 machine. Still hasn't worked as of yet. Kyle Thomas getting passed by Ralph Mason. See what else is happening on the racetrack. PJ Williams will probably stay out a little bit longer as he's still running pretty fast lap times. Nothing that is going to get him beat. Jacob Anthony is going to pass Dylan Poteet. Joseph Onesto is going to try as well, as Poteet's been pretty adamant about not going down pit road these past couple of laps. I think he's trying to make sure they go into the correct fuel and tire window, but I wouldn't stay out there for too much longer because this is going to really hurt his position on track. As he's currently near the front, he would probably want to cycle out near the front again. So we take a look a little further back. Here's a little bit of a battle as Darian Taylor trying to get something on the 88 machine. We actually have kind of a stack of cars as Cisnowski and Sanford are much slower than Tanker and Taylor. So we may see some passing going on these next couple of turns. Alex Tanker tries to look in, but not going to do it. A good place to probably see is going into this turn, as it's possible to get quite the boost. However, Tanker decides not to take it. He didn't want to dive bomb it in the turn just yet. It is a pretty smart strategy. If you have a group of cars in front of you, if you dive bomb, you might hit the car in front of the car you're trying to pass, or you may not clear both, so it could result in some trouble. As Eric Cardona gets on the battle. So this is actually the biggest pack on track at the moment, with 5 cars all together in a row. All of them trying to jockey for position, but currently in a single file until someone feels confident enough to make that move. This can be good for Eric Cardona, since he could gain potentially 4 spots off of this if he can navigate past Tanker and Taylor. A good 5-car battle here. Whoa! They start running a little high on the racetrack. Almost go off into that huge grassy field. There's Alyssa Fields in the background, who actually made it past Alex Pedro. She would be the next car to go after this group. Cisnowski going underneath the 26 of RJ Bishop. But will any of these drivers pit this lap? It will be Bishop heading down the pit lane. So the pack of 5 goes down to a pack of 4. Alyssa Fields makes it by Pedro, and Ralph Mason's going to make it by him as well. There is Joseph Onesto. He's getting caught up to, I believe, but yep, Jordan Demis, who gave up that race lead earlier on, starting to catch back up in his 34 machine, so he will be a challenge for Joseph Onesto in the next couple of laps. Onesto is just going to have to try and hold on until the next pit stops. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Contact is made. Alex Tanker into the back of car number 3. Throw it off, and Eric Cardona gets really sent off the pace there, so he's going to lose that group. Now we have to hope that Alex Tanker doesn't have any mechanical issues resulting from that contact, as Kyle Collins did the same thing, and that resulted in him pulling out of the event. That would be devastating for car number 88. As Darian Taylor tried making the pass on Cisnowski, not going to work. Tanker going to try and get it back. Let's see, a little further up near the front of the pack, we still have this battle between Onesto and Demis. It hasn't really gone anywhere. Look at this over here, though. Darian Taylor still trying to bet. Tanker is a little slow. I'm wondering if that did actually affect his car, as Eric Cardona is going to catch back up and make the pass. Will Tanker have to go down pit road and pull the 88 car out of the event? I'm not sure if they've gone out of the event just yet. No, he's going to keep it going, but this has definitely hurt his car. Dylan Poteet's gone down pit road. Alex Pedro going to do likewise in the 53. We have to take a look at Jeffrey Finguy at the moment. He's currently sitting in 16th. Really got burned on his pit stop. Went from the lead all the way back to 15th at the moment. So the 18 car's got a long way to go if he wants to make it to the front, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to catch up quickly enough. He still has decent tires. He hasn't been exhausting them, but he's got quite a ways to go before he catches up to the leader of PJ Williams. Speaking of PJ Williams, taking a look at his lap times, let's see if his tires have been wearing off, and not too badly, as he's still on par with Henry Nova. However, this pack of 3 has been quicker than him by about a second. So there is still a chance for these 3 drivers to pull their way toward the front, as Jordan Demis is not showing Joseph Onesto any mercy, but on his back bumper for the entirety of the past couple of laps. Just to give you the stats update, an hour and 43 minutes into this event. We'll take a commercial break at the 2-hour mark. As we still have exciting racing between this group of cars. As Eric Cardona, we mentioned how he could gain a maximum of 4 spots. Well, he will. He's going to pull ahead of this group of cars. This will put him in 7th place. Actually, 6th place overall. My mistake. As Tanker, despite the damage, that's going to pass Kyle Cisnowski. And Darian Taylor is going to look underneath as well, trying to make the pass. Not going to do it just yet, but many more opportunities to do so as Alyssa Fields and Ralph Mason start to catch up. This is where the big battles have been on the racetrack, near this section of drivers around 8th to 10th place. As Cisnowski still trying to hold on to as much ground as he can before he heads down pit road, which I'm assuming is going to be in the next couple laps. There is Alex Pedro. He came off the pit road, still trying to find his ground that he had earlier on. He says that the car that they made has been a little off since their last adjustment, so they're trying to find a way to get it back into competing form. Let's look near the front as, look at that. The 34 car is now in 4th place. Onesto got past while we were covering that big train of cars near the back. As Demis is going to try and work his way on Jacob Anthony as well. Demis is really happy with the way that this backup car is running. It's been pretty strong ever since segment number 2, and they feel that if they can keep this car in good shape, they may have a shot at the victory. So Jordan Demis will have to see how well they can do on track. See if Onesto is going to keep on the racetrack. He will. Whoa, Darian Taylor Off track heavily as he got passed by Ralph Mason and Alyssa Fields. Sosnowski still trying to hold on to the spot. Cardona and Tanker running away. Dylan Young trying to catch up to this group, but he still has a little bit of ways to go. Will Sosnowski pit this lap? No, he will not. He's really stretching his fuel mileage along with his tires, and whether that's a wise decision or not, I am not sure, as he is losing quite a few positions. That's Ralph Mason making the pass underneath Alyssa Fields. Can Mason take it away? Work his way up a couple more spots, maybe be in contention with some of the front runners, but right now, one car at a time. As Darian Taylor also putting some pressure on the 21 machine. See if he can work his way underneath. He's found a bit of a window. Can he stick with it? No. But the field actually has the advantage coming out of that turn. Mason's going to take the spot. Now he sets his sights on Sosnowski. Dylan Young catching up. Made some good ground in that turn. PJ Williams and Henry Nova have been pretty unchallenged, but they will need to start pitting in the next couple of laps. Jordan Demis is going to be the driver that will most likely take their spots over, unless they decide to bring it down pit road early. I was doubting their pit strategy early on, thinking that them pitting that soon and giving Finn Guy the lead would be detrimental to them. It actually seems to have helped them a bit, as they've been running much better than what Finn Guy's been running, and Finn Guy was the driver who stayed out, so maybe pitting often is, well, at least a little more frequently, it's a little more helpful, as you'll be slowed down by the pit stops. You'll gain it back with the fresh tires. Car now in the pit lane, that is Avis Rapax. Jordan Dennis overall in the third place position with a very fast race car. He's trying to catch up to the 11 machine. Sosnowski is going to lose a position. Make that 2 positions, as car number 3 is going to make it by. Could be 4, as Dylan Young in the 14 car trying to take it away from him. Gotta watch out for Avis Rapax, who's entering the racetrack. Fortunately, he's going to back down a little bit. He will not be an issue for these drivers. If the 3 car makes it by, 14 car trying to pass for 11th. 50 guys in 13th, still not near the front like he was near the early stages of the event, saying that the car has really dropped off from what they started with. Here comes Jordan Demis, car number 34. Trying to catch up to Henry Nova in the 11 machine. The 11 machine is running with Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel Voiles, and Henry Nova. So we have the road racer of Fitzwater and the circuit drivers of Voiles and Nova. Though Nova does have some road racing experience. He went to he's been to the Zandvoort circuit for the not fully run the NASCAR Road Racing Challenge Cup, which unfortunately lost its funding very early on. Too pricey to make, so they couldn't continue. He also went to the Bethesda ring in the UticaHomeTrackSeries and had a good finish there in his 07. But here comes the 34 car underneath. So Demis is going to take it. He now sets his sights on PJ Williams in the 12, who will probably head down the pit lane soon. Near the back, Avis Rapax, who's on fresh tires, is going to pass these drivers despite being a lap off the pace. You're looking near the front there. Kyle Thomas still stuck in the 20th position. Things have been really rough for the 77 machine. I don't think they're going to be able to recover it back. I think their strategy is just to keep it on track and just make sure they finish the event. Behind them we have a bit of a battle of cars for 14th position. Zachary Robinson, Charles Sanford, Dylan Poteet. All in close proximity. I think Sanford might be the faster of those drivers, as, yep, passes Zachary Robinson on the inside. Robinson's been having a pretty tough day too. They've been having a lot of troubles ever since Nathan Orman had the electrical issue. They've been kind of babying it, making sure that their electrical system is working. There is a car on the pit lane. That's Kyle Sosnowski. That's a pretty good maneuver for him. He's been pretty slow on track. Jordan Demis is caught up to PJ Williams. Can he take it this lap, or will he have to wait for another one? He's pretty fast, and he's going for it. Jordan Demis, very aggressive in that 34 machine. Not going to ride around behind the 12. He wants that spot. He wants to lead a lap today. As car number 34, fast in the turn. He will make the pass for the lead. So Demis is going to lead this lap if he can just make it to the line. That's the question. Last time he did this, he decided to pull it off track early. Here we go. We also have to see if Williams and Nova are going to pit this lap or if they're going to hold out a little longer. An hour and 51 minutes into the segment. 9 minutes until our commercial break. And PJ Williams has decided to bring her down pit road as Henry Nova going to take his chances on track. Poteet's got around the 41 machine as well, so that will move him up to 15th spot on the track. So it actually might move him up a little bit more since Sosnowski pit, so he would probably be 14th overall. 18 cars on the lead lap, 2 cars a lap down, and a total of 5 drivers have retired from this event. So we've seen a lot of chaos throughout this event, a lot of uniform racing. As whoa, the 26 car runs a little wide as Kyle Thomas heads down pit road. Could have been bad for the 26 machine. We had one of our worst wrecks of the day in that turn. Though fortunately we haven't had too many overly hard wrecks as no drivers have been injured as of yet. It's always a good sight to see, and no cars have gone over as well. Most of the wrecks have been either spins or, in terms of the worst wreck, 2 cars plowing into that wall. So PJ Williams in the 12 will cycle back out into the 13th position. Looks like Finn Guy will get his dream of catching up to car number 12. It's now a matter of seeing how everything will cycle out, since Finn Guy isn't on the freshest of tires compared to some of these other drivers. He's not running as fast of laps. That could be because the tire, or it could just be in conservation mode. Jordan Demis is pretty fast on the racetrack. Henry Nova falling back, but the times have really dropped off for Jordan Demis this past lap. 2 minutes overall. He's been running very fast lap times, and I think doing so has worn out his tires considerably. So he actually might pit early. As look at that. 3 cars going down pit road. Nova, Anthony, Onesto. Eric Cardona is going to take advantage, and this is probably the best that that the 2 machine has had all race long. So he's currently 2nd place overall. Jordan Demis is his next target. As we got Tanker and Mason following close behind. Dylan Young and Avis Repack has been kind of a battle, which isn't even a battle for position. And Dylan Young has not been too happy about it, since Young is trying to battle for a position of his own. And he has to deal with this lap car of the 15. However, Avis Repack is saying, just let me go. He knows that he can pass Alyssa Fields, so he would let the racing get back to them. So, a little bit of a disagreement over the radio between these two. So they try to sell it out. Cars heading back onto the racetrack. Darren Taylor went down pit road. That lap, Onesto actually took quite a long stop. Nova's going to be the big winner on pit road. He would gain... Well, he won't gain any position, but he will get some ground on the 19. Sorry about that. We had another technical issue. Caused our stream to skip. But let's go through the field with only about 5 minutes left into the segment. So Jordan Demis is your race leader. He's been leading for the majority of the segment. Well, not the majority of the segment, for these past couple of laps. Eric Cardona has been in 2nd place following these pit stops, followed by Alex Tanker in the 88, Ralph Mason in 4th. Rounding out your top 5, Dylan Young. There's Alyssa Fields in 6th place. followed by 7th place Jeffrey Finguy. 8th is PJ Williams. 9th will be Henry Nova, followed by 10th place Jacob Anthony. 11th place is Charles Sanford. 12th is Dylan Potey. 13th Joseph Onesto. Then we have Alex Pedro in 14th, followed by 15th Darian Taylor. 16th is Kyle Sosnowski. 17th is Zachary Robinson. 18th is Michael Norman. He's the last car in the lead lap. First car off the lead lap is Avis Rapax in 19th. And in 20th place overall is the 77 of Kyle Thomas, who just has been struggling for the entire event. Well, just under the 2-hour mark, we are going to head to a commercial break. When we come back, we will give you the last hour of coverage here at the 24 Hours of Sebring, following in our 3rd segment overall. So thank you for watching. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the 24 Hours of Sebring. We just went under a commercial break. That'll be our last commercial break for the day. Jordan Demis in car number 34 is going down pit lane, so he will relinquish the lead to Eric Cardona, car number 2. Cardona has really improved in this last hour of the segment, and he could be a force to be reckoned with for winning the segment. Now, for those of you who need to know, the segment winners win a monetary prize, so they're not going for any points, as this is only a one-off event. But the big winner will be the one that wins it at the very end of this race. We're also going to be looking at a couple of manufacturer victories, though those will be less important. Those are just going to be prizes awarded by the manufacturers of Honda and Chevy. We'll also give the Gumption Award for best effort. That's like the small prizes that you would get at a Little League game for just attending. But Eric Cardona out in the lead. Ralph Mason will move up to 2nd place, with PJ Williams in 3rd. So a lot of talent up near the front. Eric Cardona, however, is a driver that many of us are not really familiar with. I haven't seen him in particularly any series. So his actions on track are completely new to me. Cardona is given a good run, this 2 machine. Split the ride with 2 other drivers who had more experience, most notably Ian Dutta. But so far, Eric Cardona has been doing the better of those drivers. Let's take a look. Looks like Michael Norman's heading down pit road from 18th. He's been pretty far off the pace. I'd like to mention that for those who have missed it, segment 4 of the 24-hour event will be held on the Booyaka Dragon channel. James Silverfox will be the commentator for that. You wouldn't want to miss that. Segment 5 is going to be handled by Robert Piet at the Tasman Dutch channel. He runs the NASCAR series. Segment 6 will be handled by Seth Cole, who I'm assuming most of you know who he is. And Part 7 is set to go back to McCrury. That's currently what we have at the moment. It should go back to McCrury. And the final part will be right back here on this channel. So we actually get a little bit of extra coverage here. Charles Sanford makes the pass, but ends up heading right back down pit road. Jordan Demis is going to work his way past the 18 of Jeffrey Finguy, put him in 8th place. A couple other cars on pit road. There's Eric Cardona and Ralph Mason. So leaders pitted while we were giving that little advert. This puts PJ Williams in the lead, and close on his tail is Henry Nova. Nova is faster than PJ Williams, so I'll have to see if Henry Nova can catch up in the next couple of laps. Both of them are fresh off pit road, and they've got fast race cars, so they won't be pitting for a while. Henry Nova in the 11 machine normally runs for Row 1 Motorsports, running in cooperation with Zachary Fitzwater's team, Australia Racing. Having a great run today, Henry Nova. This could add a plethora of experience to his racing endeavors. And also, Jacob Anthony in 3rd place at the moment. A great effort by him today, as he was one of the drivers that we didn't expect too much out of, especially because he doesn't have much of a road racing career. But showing these drivers how it's done today, sitting up in the 3rd place position. See if we can go back a little bit. There's Joseph Ernesto still having a good run. But Jordan Dennis is really flying on track. He's already blasted past Finn Guy by a long shot, trying to catch up to Joseph Ernesto, see if he can get the 6th place position. As let's take a look back, see if we can find anyone else we should cover. There is, oh, that's Alexander. Eric Cardona in car number 2. After going down pit road, he'll drop down to the 13th place position. So that's a relatively hard hit, but he's going to have fresh tires on this number 2. He should be able to catch up relatively quickly. See if we can find any other drivers of note. Now, you might notice here, Kyle Thomas is listed as 19th. He's actually passed Avis Rapak, so something must have gone wrong with the 15 machine. When we saw him, he was pretty slow on track. How many laps off the leader is he? He is about 2 laps off the pace. Well, 1.5. So is Kyle Thomas. So Avis Rapax has been losing ground for a while. Henry Nova has caught up to PJ Williams. He's even closer now. Not sure if he'll be able to make the pass this lap. He's been faster, but he hasn't been able to get that run underneath like some of these other drivers, like Jordan Demis have been doing. The 11 car did really well in the first segment with Zachary Fitzwater, and had an exceptional second segment as he started outside pole. So the 11 car is strong. The 12 car has basically been his major competition for the day. So if he can just handle the 12 as we head through the last turns on the circuit. Here he goes. He's trying to make that pass, but no, gets kind of flung out to the outside, and he's going to lose all that momentum. Williams going to pull away. Actually, we need to talk about PJ Williams a little bit. PJ Williams, the only driver on track from Jamaica. Not a place you commonly see race car drivers coming from, since you don't really see many drivers coming from the island racetracks, either in the Pacific Island or the Caribbean. However, he had just made his first start before coming out here at the he plans on making his start at the the Utica Dirt Devil Series. He's going to be running a rally car with his brother Gabe Williams in that series, so best of luck to him for that. This will really help his experience on road racing for that series, as he's starting to pull away from Henry Nova. Jordan Demis has caught up to Joseph Ernesto. Both of these drivers have likened their race cars today. It's just that Joseph Ernesto hasn't been able to catch the brakes that Jordan Demis has had. This has usually been the highest Ernesto's been able to get on the racetrack before having to pit again. So Demis with the better race car, but Ernesto is still not out of it yet. Though Ernesto does have to be careful, as Robert Piet did go out in segment number 1. John Sedino got him to a decent segment 2, and at the current moment, it looks like Ernesto will give a good segment 3 unless the pit cycles kills him. Let's see, looking a little further back. Alex Tanker in 8th place, having a great run so far. Now, Alex Tanker, we mentioned, was not noted for his road racing, but neither was the rest of this team. They've been able to keep this car strong for the entire duration of the event. So, Alex Tanker, he's been over the radio. He's saying that he's happy with the race car. It's not something that they feel they can win the race with, but it is something that they feel that they can get a decent finish out of, which they were hoping that they could at least finish well in this event and not wreck themselves out. So far, they seem to be achieving that goal. They're still in the event. Ralph Mason's going to make it by Kyle Cisnowski in that 67 machine. An endurance racer, a lot of road course racing experience. One of several drivers from the United Kingdom, England, on track today. Doing a good job. This is the car that, as we mentioned, Anthony McCrury will be driving. He was the person initially in charge of this segment, but The team has called him for an important meeting, so unable to be in the booth. That's why we're back up here. See if we can take a look a little further. I want to talk about the 14 car. The 14 car has dropped off a little bit. Dylan Young says that this car is now running to his liking. In the earlier segments, Tanner Sullivan had an exceptional run with car number 14. Almost won the first segment, but just lost by an inch to Dan Bandon. But ever since then, Dylan Young has been reporting that this car has not been very good. They haven't been able to really catch anyone, and they don't think they're going to get a good finish out of this segment. They're going to try and ride it out, see if they can fix all the problems, and just survive until the end, where they can maybe make their move. Dylan Poteet a little off track. Poteet's a little faster than some of the other drivers ahead of him. He is on fresher tires. But Poteet not liking the position on track at the moment. He's pretty far back. It looks like he won't be able to get up toward the front unless the pit cycle smiles in his favor. But Poteet keeping this car safe. Chris Washer already had an issue with this 13 car in the first segment, but Seth Cole has been able to keep it in the race nice and safe. He'll transfer back over to Chris Washer in the next segment. Let's see, Jeffrey Finguy in 17th. This is not where they were hoping to have the 18 car after it won in segment number 1. Finguy relatively upset over the radio with how he's been driving this. This car has not been very fast, and he says that he's made a lot of poor turns. So hopefully Dan Bandon, when he gets back in the car, he'll be able to pick up the pace a little bit more. Keep these guys in the show. We take a look a little further back. There's Kyle Thomas, Avis Rapax. And back up near the front, there's actually a third car trying to work their way. And then that's Jacob Anthony, who's been running in third place for a couple laps now. He's caught up to P.J. Williams in the 12. They're all running similar lap times, so I don't think we'll see too much change up near the front unless one of the drivers starts making a really dive bomb move. But the driver they need to watch out for is this guy, the 4th place car of Jordan Dennis, who's been catching up. He's 2 seconds faster than these guys. So it's a matter of time before Dennis, who's on fresher tires and won't need to pit as quick, will be able to catch up to them. However, they do have the plus side that Jordan Dennis has been really using up his tires. He has not been conserving these. So there's a good chance that as soon as he takes the lead, he may have to give it up. So Jordan Dennis is actually in kind of a gamble move, because if the pit strategy doesn't work in his favor, he'll use up his tires before the end of the race and end up having to give up the lead to another driver with just a couple laps to go. Ernesto rounding out your top 5. And take a look at that. Alex Henker up to 6th place. I think some cars have gone down pit road. See if I can find them. Maybe Ralph Mason from earlier. Or I think actually Alex Henker might have passed some guys. Poteet's trying to... Oh wait, no, I think Poteet's getting passed by Charles Sanford. Sanford much quicker at the moment. He's on fresher tires. I think it was Sanford who went down pit road. So he's trying to make his way by Zachary Robinson. This is a battle for the 14th position. Yeah, Sanford passed Dylan Poteet. Now setting his sights on the 41 car. Now Zachary Robinson, the 41, he's going to be handing that over to Stephen Pollard III, who had a decent run in the first segment, but the 41 car has not been the car to beat. Poteet's still trying to work his way underneath, but it looks like this battle is sorted out for now. Look at that. Is that a 4th car? Wait, I heard some noise. I thought I heard a spin. It looks like I was mistaken. But 4 cars up near the front. P.J. Williams, Henry Nova, and Jacob Bantu are the ones that can actually battle for the lead. Michael Norman's just there. He's a lapped car, trying to get his lap back. Look at that. Henry Nova was so close to getting by P.J. Williams, but just wasn't able to do it there. He might have a shot here. Also, we have to wonder when these guys are going to come down pit road. I don't anticipate them coming down pit road just yet. but they may pit sometime, or else Jordan Dennis might catch up. He's already on the same straightaway as them. But look at this. Jacob Anthony trying to make the pass underneath of Henry Nova. Can he do it? Into the final turns. Looks like Anthony will get that spot. He just needs to force Nova out of that groove some more. Can he do it yet? No. Nova still trying to keep his nose there on the outside. Nova now has the preferred line. There's a car on pit road that is Dylan Young. So Dylan Young's actually going to go a lap down. Anthony trying the battle, but Nova has the better line. Michael Norman's trying to see who he's going to help. I think he's siding with Jacob Anthony. But wait a second, he makes the move down to Nova. I don't know who he's loyal to. But Anthony, looks like Anthony gets forced out of the groove. Good attempt at a pass, but not going to get it just yet. Look back a little bit more. Did Alex Tanger come off the pit? No, Alex Tanger did not come off the pit lane. So Dylan Young on pit road. Looks like I'm not sure what they're doing. They're just kind of sitting there. They're not working on the tires and fuel, so hopefully nothing has gone wrong with them. Alex Pedro in car number 53 on pit road as well. Sesnoski also going to make the long drive down pit lane. This will mean Jeffrey Finguy will gain 3 positions, something that he's been hoping for. Any spot he can get will help his cause, as he needs to get a good starting position for next segment. Is Kyle Thomas going to head down? Nope, Kyle Thomas will stay on the racetrack. Wait, look at this! PJ Williams forced out of the race lead. What happened here? Let's just keep an eye on these front runners here, as it's getting kind of dicey. We should go back and see what happened to PJ Williams. See if we can get a report from the official, see what happened to him. Well, looks like the 11 car made a dive bomb move in the hairpin turn, and Jacob Anthony just followed. So there you have it. Henry Nova in the race lead, followed by Jacob Anthony. Now it looks like PJ Williams used up all of his tires. He's now in danger of losing a spot to Jordan Dennis. And there's Dylan Young still on pit road. I wonder if he made contact or if he's having a problem with that 14 machine. It's not looking good for him. Here comes Onesto and Tanker. So, a lot of people want to speculate on who will win this event. And I feel it's a little too early to make a definite prediction, but if you had to pick some favorites to go to victory lane today, Henry Nova with his number 11 machine, we can see that team heading to victory lane. The 12 car with Connor Vale, Dylan Thoreau, and PJ Williams, also a very strong car on track. They may have a shot at it, but don't knock out a couple of these other drivers who have been running close to the front. Jacob Anthony is more of a long shot to win this, but if he can get a good finish here, there's a good chance he might finish well in the other segments and be up there near the front. Jordan Dennis is also a driver that could be in victory lane with the 34 team, in that this car has been fast in these later stages. He just needs to keep it safe. Whoa, whoa, oh, no, we have a wreck. Ralph Mason, Alyssa Fields, contacted in the wall. I think this may hurt both of their runs. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to finish this if the damage is terminal. Ralph Mason's relatively slow. I don't think he's going to be coming back into this. Yeah, they're reporting over the radio. They think they're done. What a shame for car number 67. He's having such a good race. Starting to catch back up, but things not going to go well for him in segment number 3. Alyssa Fields, we also have to see if this car will be able to continue, or if they'll have to go to a backup car, since both Logan York and John Smith finished their segments. So both of them are fine. They do not need to worry about not being in this event anymore. I'm assuming car number 21 will head down pit road And yep, I'm correct in that assumption. See if we can find Mason. There he is. He's limping his way down the pit lane. Dylan Young still on pit road as well. Just make sure nothing's happened near the front while we were taking a look at this wreck. Nope, Henry Nova still your leader by a long shot. Oh, Charles Sanford's slow. I think he's got a problem. Maybe a tire down? I don't know. As Mason working his way to the pit lane. Happened in the case of Alyssa Fields. Mason. We gotta check Sanford now since Sanford was having a problem. Yep, Ralph Mason's out. Looks like Alyssa Fields are trying to get back on track. Sanford, still not certain as to what the problem is with the 26 machine, whether it's terminal or if he just has something going on like a tire issue. Or if this is just even a unscheduled stop. No, it's not a planned stop since his last lap was a 2:35. Well, actually, he was slow on that. He didn't just come off pit road, but I think this is unscheduled. Dylan Young, car number 14. They're going back to work on that machine. Charles Sanford, they reported it was a cut tire. Dylan Young, I think he may have gotten some contact in that turn. Maybe he was running close to someone and made some contact. We've seen that happen to some of these drivers. But we don't really have any footage of it. We're not sure where the day for car number 14 went sour. This is going to change up some field positions as Alyssa Fields and Ralph Mason were occupying 2 spots on track. They were pretty constant. So that's going to bring some of those drivers a little further back, move them up a couple of positions. Michael Norman still trying to get by Henry Nova, but with no success. We have currently gone 2 hours and 22 minutes into segment number 3. And it should be a good remaining 15 hours. As now is go time for this segment. As we're not going to have too much time left. I'm assuming we'll probably head down pit road either 1 or 2 more times. So it all just depends on how these pit stops work and if these drivers can keep out of trouble and up near the front. And speaking of near the front, Jordan Demis back up toward the front of the pack. He's going to be battling with Jacob Anthony. But the question is, can he circumvent these 3 cars before they pit? If he can do that, he'll have such a huge lead over the rest of the pack. Could result in him getting his victory, even if he heads down pit road. That's kind of what Dan Bandon did. He was able to pull out a large enough lead that him pitting on that last lap didn't affect him. There's PJ Williams. He comes down the pit lane. He's going to give up the 4th place position. Joseph Anesto is going to follow him. Which means Alex Tanker will work his way into the top 5 for, I think, the first time of the segment. This could be a plus for Alex Tanker and their team of SNL Racing. So Nova's out front. Demis has been quicker than both of them, but he has used up his tires. So how long he'll be able to stay on the racetrack is in question. And Michael Norman up there is going to be a problem as well. Charles Sanford might even be a problem since he's on fresh tires. He'll be able to throw a monkey wrench into this, much like the 7 machine is. The next car that would catch up to them would be Alex Tanker, who's pretty far back on track. More drivers returning to the circuit. Let's see, I think we should do a quick through the field. Now with the helicopter cam. But Henry Nova in your race lead. having an exceptional effort with this 11 machine. 11 machine has been on point all day so far. We'll have to see what will happen when they head to nightfall, as that's what's going to be coming after this. Well, the sun's going to start setting, and we'll be under the lights here at the Sebring circuit. In second place, making the pass, Jordan Demis is going to take it away from Jacob Ansey. But wait a second, he goes down pit road. Demis has used up his tires. He's going to pit early, so that's going to backfire for car number 34. Let's move back up toward the front of the pack. Jacob Anthony in second place. Great run for the young driver. He said with the way this number 19 car has been racing, I think they can pull off a solid finish to this segment and get him in good standing for the next segment when Eugene DeMax takes over. In third place, would have been Alex Tanker, but he's gone down pit lane, will be Eric Cardona in car number 2. This car is not stolen the highlights in today's event, but he's been running very consistent and has had some solid runs. He's currently sitting in the third place position, as the pit strategy will work a little more into his favor. If Henry Nova pits this next lap, he might be able to go up and challenge for the lead, but Nova and Anthony would have to pit this next lap. I'm not sure exactly if they're going to do that. Darian Taylor will sit in the fourth place position. Darian Taylor has been running near the back of the pack for the past couple of laps, but he's worked his way back up to the front. This could be his time to strike, so we'll see if Darian Taylor can get it done near the end. Jordan Demis is going to make a relatively quick pit stop, and it's going to fall in place behind Darian Taylor in fifth place. This may not be over yet for Jordan Demis, as now he's got fresh tires. He might be able to make it to the end of this segment without having to pit again, but he has to conserve his tires, so this could be the event for Jordan Demis. However, the pit strategy needs to work in his favor for that to happen. Then we have PJ Williams, car number 12. Williams has had a great effort so far. The 12 machine has gone to victory lane in segment number 2 with Dylan Thoreau. Connor Vale almost got to a victory in segment number 1. So the 12 car is strong. PJ Williams hoping to get a good finish for this segment. He's followed by Dylan Poteet, car number 13, who's trying to work his way back into contention. Not sure if he's a little too late, but if these pit stops continue to shuffle the field, he may end up on top of the deck. Right behind him is Jeffrey Finguy. He's worked his way back into the top 10. Finguy trying to get that finish that he thinks the team deserves, and he thinks that Dan Bandon deserves, as they have gone to victory lane already from segment number 1. However, that's not where it counts. It counts in segment number 8. So he's hoping that he can get it done. Dylan Poteet's going to pit. So we have another car on pit road. I believe that is Darian Taylor, Eric Cardona. So they all make their way down pit road. Next in line is Alex Pedro, car number 43. Moves himself up into the top 10. Pedro has had a pretty up and down day. Started off with a great run in that 53 machine. Ended up going down heavily due to a mishap with the 53 machine, some pit road issues. Now back up into the top 10, and he's pretty fast too, so I'm assuming he recently pitted, so car number 53 may not be done for yet. He could get something out of this. Alex Tanker following right behind him in the 88 car, didn't lose too much ground on track. He's looking for a good finish. Followed by Joseph Ernesto. There's Eric Cardona, Sosnowski, Taylor, Poteet, Fields, Robinson, Young, Sanford, Rapax, Thomas. There's Jordan Demis. Jordan Demis has actually made it past Henry Nova. I think Henry Nova has gone down pit road. So now, it's down to this. Will Jordan Demis last out front? He's been the fastest driver that hasn't been up in the main pack consistently all day. He would pit run his tires to the max to catch up to the leaders, take the lead for one lap, and then head down pit road. However, he finds himself now in the race lead for what I am assuming will be more than one lap. As he's just pitted, he's got fresh tires. How long will they last? Can he make it to the end of the event? Oh, wait a second. I see Henry Nova, car number 11. The engine goes. One of the fastest cars on track is going to lose the motor in the late running. He was so close he could have had a chance to catch up to the 34 car, but it's all lost for Henry Nova. What a disappointment for the 11 team. Things were going so well, but at the 2 hour and 30 minute mark, the 11 car is going to lose the motor. They pull out of this segment. They're going to have to reel the backup car off the hauler, and hopefully that car will be able to run it with them. Whoa, Alex! Oh, God! Ugh. Alex Tanker, Alex Pedro, and Jeffrey Finn Guy just gave the entire viewing population a heart attack with some of the dodgiest driving I've seen. Almost plowing into that 11 machine that's crawling to a halt. Cardona is starting to catch up to him as well. So that leaves car number 34 in the race lead, essentially unchallenged. Jacob Anthony went down pit road. He has fallen back a little ways, and he's got lap traffic to deal with. So basically, this race will either be a Jordan Demis victory, or whoa! They almost went around. They almost made some contact. PJ Williams and Jacob Anthony, they dived way to the inside to avoid wrecking. But this could either be a victory for the 34 machine, get them the pole for the next segment, or one of those two drivers behind them will catch up. PJ Williams is fast, and I think Jacob Anthony will be as well. Have they run out of time, or will Jordan Demis run out of luck? Now, if I have to make my prediction, I highly doubt the 34 machine is going to be able to pull this off. He does have a long haul to go, and he's not been good at saving these tires. However, he's just ran one of his fastest laps of the event this past lap. So he has the speed, but is he using up his tires too quickly? Because Jacob Anthony and PJ Williams are running fast times as well. Not as fast as the 34 machine, but they're able to keep their tires together. We have a half hour. He has to make them last for that long, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that. If I have to pick a victor for this, I think it's either going to go to the 19 or the 12. Since both of them have been saving their tires, they have had good pit strategy. We know that they will not need to pit again. At least we're pretty confident since they've pitted later than the 34 machine. We also have Alex Tanker in 4th. Alex Pedro in 5th place. Pedro is not a road racer. He ran some NASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series events. In the Light Series he ran. He never actually won a race in that series and made it up to Regional Pro Cup level. So, a young driver, starting out his career, a rookie in many series, a rookie to this event as well. As he's looking at a potential top 5 finish for a day that he almost decided this segment was going to be scrapped for him. Onesto also made a good run today in that number 35 machine, as he's just outside the top 10. He might actually be able to give the 53 car a run for his money. So across the line, Jordan Demis was actually slower than PJ Williams and Jacob Anthony this time. I think his crew chief's telling him to ease it down. He doesn't need to prove anything since Henry Nova has pulled out of the event. He just needs to make sure he stays ahead of these drivers. Now, the thing that's going to really hurt Anthony Williams is the 7 of Michael Norman, as the 7 car has been really impeding progress near the front. Now, some of the drivers have been grumbling over the radio that Michael Norman should give way to these lead cars, since he is not even battling for a position, but just to try and stay in the lead lap. But Norman has ignored all these pleas. and is actually trying to pull away from these guys. I think he won't give up the position, but he'll try and run away from them. No drivers currently on the pit lane. I'm trying to find Dylan Young. See what happened to him? There he is. He's in 19th place right now. That was pretty rough on his machine. I think he's currently last place of all the drivers on track since the 11 car has gone out and has been out for a couple of laps. So it looks like Dylan Young's going to have to try and pull the pieces together for the next segment. He's basically out of this one. So far, it looks like only, I believe, 14 drivers are on the lead lap, with Charles Sanford being the last one in the R.J. Bishop machine. Now we got to keep looking at these lap times, since the lap times will show if they're catching up. So Jordan Demis, a 156.412. And a 156.249 for second place, and a 236 for third place. So these drivers are faster, but I'm not sure if they're taking down the gap quick enough. They still have 20 minutes, so it's still possible. But they need to really start picking up the pace if they want to get by Demis, unless they're assuming that he's going to run out of fuel and tire before this event is over. No takers for pit road. It's pretty late in the event, and I think we'll only see cars come down pit road if they're either desperate or if they want to make sure their car is in good running for the next segment. Say if their position doesn't matter and they're just trying to get those tires fresh for the next segment. But the 34 car is still out front. The time is winding down. And whoa, these guys got a little squirrely. Anthony's trying to make it by the 7 machine, who's been impeding progress all event. Anthony's screaming over the radio, get this 7 car out of here. He's trying to make a move, but this might lose him the spot to PJ Williams. Now these drivers can't battle too much, or else they're going to let the 34 car get away. It looks like the 12 machine of PJ Williams is going to work his way past. So PJ Williams now in second place. He's been the favorite for all 3 segments that we have run. And the 12 car has won in segment number 2. He got the pole for this event. He's hoping to stay on top going into the 4th segment, which we're getting close to the halfway point of our 24-hour event. However, Michael Norman is throwing things off, and Jordan Demis was much quicker that lap. But look at this, Avis Rapax, car number 15. He's been running a little slower than most other drivers. Will this be a problem? No, not for Jordan Demis. He's going to blast right by him with a diving move. But now, will these drivers struggle? Since they're not 1 car, they're 3. It's much more difficult to do the dive bomb move if you're a pack of more than 1 car. So Avis Rapax could be a big wild card factor to throw into this, despite him being off the lead lap by 2 laps. Speaking of lap traffic, Michael Norman might lose the spot to PJ Williams. He gets sent way off the racetrack. PJ Williams not going to give him enough room. But will he be able to clear the 7? He's fast, but whoa, slides it off into the turn. Keeps it on track. Jacob Anthony's actually going with car number 7. But Williams not giving up to the inside. Can he win the drag race down the back straightaway? Or will Jacob Anthony get it? Since he's drafting with the 7, he may be able to push by. PJ Williams has the preferred line going into this turn. He also has that lap car that could help him out. Oh boy. Watch out, fellas. This is kind of dodgy. And it looks like Avis Rapack is going to hold up the 12 machine. It gives it back to Jacob Anthony. And gives Jordan Dennis a lead. Even bigger lead, as his times were still faster than both of them. Rapack's holding up the 12, and PJ Williams not happy over the radio. He almost had the pass on the 7 car. Might have been able to rocket it to car number 34. But all that usage of tires is for naught, as he is losing tons of ground. Behind this number 15, goes into a passing zone, makes it by him. Williams livid over the radio, but I think he decided not to make contact with him so he doesn't wreck his own race car. Dennis is catching up to another lap car. That's Kyle Thomas. He is 1 lap off the pace. Sorry, actually he's 2 laps down. Well, just about 2 laps off the pace. As Jordan Dennis starting to catch up to him. This could also be a factor. The lap traffic, the pit stops, the tire wear. All of these factors can either make or break these teams. So the 34 just needs to play it cool. They have a total of 19 minutes, it would seem. And then they would finish up this segment. So can Jordan Dennis stay on track for 19 minutes? Take a look further back. There's Jacob Anthony. PJ Williams is free from the clutches of the 15, who's been off pace. He has been making regular pit stops, but this car is now running well. Avis Rapack is actually the only Lithuanian driver in the field, showing the diversity of our drivers. However, this run's going to be pretty pitiful for the 15 machine. He's got a little bit of ground over the other drivers who are more laps down than he is, but he is not going to get a good starting position for the next segment. Hopefully he doesn't get caught up in anything early on. But Alex Tanker still in 4th. Alex Pedro still in 5th place, as Cardona has made it by Joseph Ernesto for 6th place. Cardona has been fast. He's faster than the drivers in the top 5. So Cardona might be able to get himself a good starting spot for the next segment, as he is one of the cars that pitted later. So he does not need to worry as much about the tires. So, you know, we could be completely wrong, and all of these drivers might need to pit again. We never know. There's so much that could happen on track today. We also have to mention Kyle Sosnowski. He's been having a pretty difficult segment, but 9th place overall is not a bad outcome for it being so early in the event. So Sosnowski getting it into good shape for the primary driver of William Duncan, who Duncan, he didn't have a very good first segment. Chris Louviere didn't especially do well in segment 2 either. So Sosnowski giving it the best run so far. And look at that, pass for position. Finn guy's going to pass Fields for 12th. Fields, fortunately, didn't get much damage from that wreck with Ralph Mason. She got the light end of it, but was hoping for a much better finish to give Logan York Here's Jordan Dennis. He's caught up to Kyle Thomas in car number 77. The 77 machine got the pole for this event, but they've been struggling ever since segment number 1. Running into a lot of issues. They haven't gone to a backup car yet, though, so that's something. That's a real testament to the team to keep that car out on the racetrack. Though I think they're kind of wishing they could get to a backup, since that car, they say, is handling very evilly. It's very slow. It's not going to win them a race in this condition. Dennis is going to make quick work of the 77. Jacob Anthony has finally made it past the 7 of Michael Norman. But now he's got to deal with Kyle Thomas in the 77. However, he has been faster, Jacob Anthony, though the time is running out. We have 15 minutes left in the segment. Based on that counter down in the corner. Just so you know, though it says 2:50 at the bottom, the start time of this event was at the 5 minute and 55 segment count mark on the timestamp. So we will be ending it at the 3 hour and 5 minute mark. So that's what we're basing our times off of. That's why we have 15 minutes left instead of 10 minutes. Onesto actually trying to battle with Eric Cardona, who dropped off this past lap. I think he maybe used up a little too much of his tires. As I don't know why they decided to place a camera there. I think it's blocked off by a sign that the camera has to cover. But I'm not in charge of the camera department. They make their own decisions, so just leave it at that. See if we can find some action happening on the racetrack. PJ Williams really hasn't been catching up to Jacob Anthony, so I think Williams might be settling with just your standard good finish instead of going to victory lane, which I don't blame him. You don't want to go all out this early on in the event, which unfortunately several drivers have done, and it has resulted in a couple of wrecks. So PJ Williams, they know they have a good car. They just want to make sure that this car is not wrecked when they go to the last segment, because they said this is one of the best race cars they've ever run. So I have to see how car number 12 can do. Still not much change up here in the top 5, though Eric Cardona is trying to make an attempt on Alex Pedro. Now, if Pedro loses the position, it won't be a huge deal for him, since it'll still be a really good run. But Pedro's hoping that he can get that inside lane, so they can have a little bit of an advantage going into the fourth segment, which will be under the lights. The sun's going to be starting to set soon, and we'll get to see what racing at night at Sebring is like. Many of these drivers haven't even raced here during the day, so nice to be challenging, especially because these cars have no headlights, and the track lights are limited, so we might see some dodgy racing out there. However, Jordan Dennis having a great run out front, only has to last for another 12 minutes. So this could help the 34 car. We're going to take one more commercial break, and we'll be right back with the final couple of minutes of segment number 3. Welcome back. We have about 10 minutes left in the event, and look at this. Jordan Dennis has went down pit road. Looks like he needed to make that stop. But will anyone else join him? PJ Williams went down pit lane. Alex Tanker's going down. I think they all know they can't make it. None of them want to risk it and end up losing their finishing position. Who else? Cardona. Looks like Onesto might be the only one that decides to stay out on track. So Onesto going to risk it. See if he can win segment number 3. So coming off the pit lane, it will be Joseph Onesto, Jordan Dennis. I think next would be, it looks like everyone's going down pit lane with the exception of Joseph Onesto. So Onesto better hope that he's right. So Onesto, your race leader. He's had his share of road course racing experience. In fact, this team was considered one of the favorites going into this, since they have 3 prominent road racers: Robert Piet, John Cittadino, and Joseph Onesto. However, they've not had a lot of success in these segments due to Robert Piet having a problem and John Cittadino having to work his way back up to the front. But Onesto might have an opportunity to go for the victory. However, there's the 34 machine right behind him. He's not too far away. He might be able to catch up since he has fresher tires. There's PJ Williams. He could have a shot as well, though they're all running on similar tires. There isn't going to be that full advantage. There's Tanker. Finn guy, I think, actually decided to stay out. And Cardona. So let's work our way back to the front. Actually, Jacob Anthony stayed out. I just noticed. So it looks like Onesto didn't lead. It was Jacob Anthony who stayed out. He comes down pit road. Is Joseph Onesto going to come down pit road, though? 35 car, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it to the end of the race, given how everyone else decided to dive their way down pit road. And he's going to pit as well, so it cycles back to Jordan Demis in the race lead. Jacob Anthony not going to be able to beat the 34 car from pit lane. Though he will have fresh tires, so he may have a shot at catching up to him. Though we're running out of time. We only have we have 8 minutes left in the segment. There's Anthony, Williams. What will Finn guy do? I think Finn guy may have stayed out, or maybe he just got a really good pit stop. So I think Finn guy is going to... He's just outside the top 5. Though with Robert Piet finish... with Joseph Onesto going up pit road, Finn guy will round out your top 5. And I think everyone else on track should be fine. Wait, look, there's Charles Sanford coming down pit road. I think we may see these lap cars of Norman and Thomas come down as well, but other than those drivers, all the front runners have all pitted, so everyone's going to be able to make it to the end, as we only have about 7 minutes of racing to go. It's just a matter of can the 34 car keep this lead, as Jacob Anthony will have slightly fresher tires than him. So if Jacob Anthony can push it, he may be able to catch up. I think PJ Williams is playing it safe. He hasn't been running at full throttle, but he's been running consistent enough to keep himself up there. So there's the 34 car. Just show the gap going into this turn. They've got about this straightaway, which is a pretty big margin. We also got to take a look at what these lap times are, see how much one driver is gaining over the other. So Demis, a 156.241. Jacob Anthony coming to the line. What will he have on his timer? Actually, it's a little hard to tell because he came off pit road. So we'll have to wait for the next lap to figure it out. PJ Williams running a little slower than him, so that's not promising for the 12. And the fact that the 12 is running pace with the 19, that doesn't look promising for the 19. I don't think we'll run into any more lap traffic since Charles Sanford's the last car on the lead lap in 10th place. Wait, sorry, he actually would have dropped back a little bit, so 15th place. So basically, it's all up to Jacob Anthony. Can he catch up? Or can Demis have a mistake? Because this is currently looking like it's going to go to car number 34. We only have 5 minutes to go. Time is running out on this race, at least for this segment. And the 34 car continues to lead it out front. So as we head toward the latter half of the circuit, heading toward that long straightaway, we'll go to the line and we'll get the lap times of both of these drivers. Now remember, this race doesn't end exactly when we hit the 3:05:55 mark. This ends the lap after we hit that mark. So if they hit the time before they cross the finish line, crossing the finish line finishes it. If they cross the finish line before they hit the mark and it goes down to it, they just complete that lap, and that's where they'll end up. Michael Norman on pit road. He's going to lose his lap. So 146.463 for the leader. and Jacob Anthony. A 156.302, which is faster, but not by much. So I don't think Anthony's going to be able to catch him unless he really starts picking it up. We'll probably only have about 2 more laps of racing, maybe 3, given the way these laps are about 2 minutes in length. Norman back on track. We'll beat Finn Guy and Tanker. Cardona is faster than the 18 of Jeffrey Finn Guy, so he may be able to catch up to him and take 5th place away. But everyone is pretty spread out on the racetrack. I don't see much in the way of passing. There's Dylan Young. He's expended his fuel. He's hoping to keep it out as long as possible. Maybe some good fortune would shine down upon him, but they were running out. They decided to pull it down. And Alyssa Fields, who worked her way to the top 10, I think she was actually trying to stretch it. She's going to end up losing all those positions she gained. Time is running out. Jordan Dennis still has that huge lead. So going around the last turns on the circuit, Anthony's still looking pretty far behind. We actually might run it close here since we're going to finish this lap with a 3:03.22. What's going to probably happen is we're going to finish up this lap, and then time's going to run out, and we're going to head to the final lap based on the way the timing has worked, unless something out of the ordinary happens. That will be how this event will end. So, Jordan Demis, rookie driver, not much experience with these kind of race cars, limited experience in racing, and he might be able to show them all that he can win, as he's actually picked up his time from Jacob Anthony. I think he's going to go all out now, since he has nothing to lose. There is a lap car of Alyssa Fields, but she just came off pit road. Her tire's going to be fresh. She'll be able to pull away from him. Here we go at the 3:04.23 mark, closing in. Almost a minute to go. The question is, will he be able to finish this lap in time? I think he's speeding it up, so I mean, if I were him, I would actually probably slow it down a bit. Maybe try and finish this race a little slower, but I think he wants to get that gap over Anthony so he doesn't have to worry about it. So what if something went wrong in this last lap? That would be heartbreaking. There's a couple of slow cars in front of him, but none of them I don't think will pose him much of a problem. Coming to the line, it's 3:05.06 on the bottom. Will he cross the line before we hit that time? It looks like he will. I don't think he's going to slow down for it, since I don't think he has about 40-something seconds over second place. So he crosses the line. This will be the last lap of the event as Kyle Thomas is going to pit. We're going to follow the 34 car around. This is basically his victory drive, since he just needs to keep this car running to the finish, and he will win this event. As not only is he ahead of Jacob Anthony, though actually Jacob Anthony has picked it up considerably this lap. He's got about a second over the 34, but 34 has pulled away from him by enough that I don't think it will matter. Dennis actually might have to worry about the 21 of Alyssa Fields. She's not been particularly fast with these tires. Could be because she is a damaged race car. So all these drivers in this event, with the exception of the drivers that have pulled out of this race for good, will all be returning in segment number 6, which will be much later on. It'll be the one that Seth Cole will be running. That'll also be the last time they'll be getting into the cars, since their primary and secondary drivers are going to be running 3 segments apiece. These drivers are only going to be running 2, but at least they'll get experience both day and night. As car number 34 coming down the long back straightaway, heading into the final turns. Everything seems to be going right. We thought that he may not be able to make it to the end, but fortunately for him, neither could anyone else. He's up near the front. He had a very fast car. He was up there briefly throughout the day, just running out his tires. Working his way up there, but now Jordan Demis in the lead. He's going to win segment number 3 and start on the pole for the next segment here at Sebring. So congratulations to car number 34. Second place will be Jacob Anthony. And rounding out your top 3 starters will be PJ Williams, who started on the pole for this event. So there you have it. As the rest of the field cycles through, we wish a great victory to Jordan Demis. He's going to get a cash bonus for winning this segment. And he's going to put Alan Cavanaro on the pole for segment 4. Give him a chance to redeem himself after being the first car to pull out of the race in segment number 1. So that was segment number 3. Thank you for watching. We will have the finishing order on screen in a second. Just so you know, segment number 4 will be on the Booyaka Dragon channel by James Silverfox. That will be in the description. So stay tuned for segment number 4. This has been the Utica Home Track Series channel. We'll see you in segment 8.